Welcome back, everyone. Spring and summer is a time for new growth and taking bold action together. So we hope these stories will inspire you to live boldly, take wise chances, and with our friends and family make a difference together. Today, we're continuing our stories of The American Story, 102 Tales from American History by Jennifer Armstrong and illustrated by Roger Roth. So lean in with the spirit of adventure, grab a friend, and let's enjoy the story together. 1874, The Glittering Cloud. Pioneers were settling homesteads throughout the plains. For a family with energy and enthusiasm, the prairie soil was willing to give a great harvest. Families like the Ingalls' worked all day long on farm chores. Yes, Solstice, we love you. There was plowing and sowing, there were chickens to feed, cows to milk, fruit trees to pick, and tools to mend. Along the Plum Creek, Laura Ingalls watched with excitement as her pa built a house out of wood. A wooden house. No more living in a sod house like rabbits in an underground burrow. No more dirt and bugs spattering down from the ceiling into cook pots and bed sheets. So, kind of like a hobbit hole. They used to, because it was cheaper, it was easier. The houses had a sod roof. And I mean, it made it cooler in the summer. There were a lot of benefits to it, but a lot of downsides. So the fact that they were building their house out of wood and could actually have a floor, so it wasn't just a dirt floor, was pretty novel. Let's see. And with their wheat crop looking like it would be outstanding, they'd paid off their bills in no time. The wheat stood high in the fields, each head swelling with plump grains. The weather was perfect for ripening. On a Saturday morning, Laura watched the sunshine pouring into the open house of the door. Oh, that doesn't make sense. Strike that, reverse it. The open door of the house. But even as she watched, the sunlight dimmed. The light was clear, Laura wrote later. It was not like the changed light before a storm. The air did not press down as it did before a storm. The family went outside, squinting at the sky. A cloud was gathering in front of the sun, but it was a strange, glistening cloud. It was a cloud of something like snowflakes, but they were larger than snowflakes, and thin and glittering. Light shone through each flickering particle, she wrote. While they stood there pondering this mystery, something smacked Laura's head and fell to the ground. It was the largest grasshopper she had ever seen. The next moment, they were all being peppered with grasshoppers. Grasshoppers rained from the sky. The entire cloud was grasshoppers. Their wings glinted and flashing in the light. They clung by hooked legs to Laura's hair and dress and crunched juicily underfoot as she ran shrieking into the house. Inside, Mrs. Ingalls was slamming all the windows shut. The inside swarmed over the glass and beat on the roof like hail. Then the Ingalls noticed another sound, the sound of a million tiny jaws chewing. The wheat! Mr. Ingalls shouted. In a desperate attempt to save the crop, Laura's father piled manure and dirty hay around the wheat field and set it on fire, hoping the smoke would drive the grasshoppers away. While Laura and her sister and mother watched from inside, the insects devoured everything in sight. The hens gobbled grasshoppers as fast as they could peck, but one little flock of chickens was no match for millions of grasshoppers. The garden was stripped bare. The cornstalks were weighed down with grasshoppers eating away. The willow and plum trees along the creek were consumed down to the branches. Soon there was not a green thing left on the prairie. By the time the glittering cloud of grasshoppers moved on, the wheat crop was entirely gone, and the prairie was as bare as if a fire had swept across it. Many farm families gave up homesteading and returned to the east, but the Ingalls family stayed on, determined to make life for themselves on the prairie, no matter what nature threw at them. And this is a note here. The grasshoppers were actually locusts, and there were periodic swarms throughout the 1870s. They were voracious and would eat almost anything. Wallpaper, leather, hat bands, even the wool off the back of a startled sheep. That wouldn't be startling. 1874 swarm described by Laura Ingalls Wilder stretched from Oregon to Kansas. Wow.